What's up, people? Joe Winko here, your favorite Hawaiian guy, and here's my next episode of Joe Winko Talk. So, I haven't done an episode of Joe Winko Talk in quite a long time. Sorry about that. But, what this episode of Joe Winko Talk is going to be about is my new Sims 2 horror movie that's on the way called Carolina Maniacs. So, this is going to be what the movie is going to be about and what it was inspired by and what will be going on in it too. I already have the script done. Here it is. Script for Carolina Maniacs. And this is actually going to be the first Sims 2 horror movie to feature my bandana in, well, like, my character wore the bandana in my other Sims 2 horror movies, but it wasn't tied the correct way, the way I wear it in my Joe Winko talks. But in Milkshape, that's like a 3D meshing program, I finally learned how to make stuff for The Sims 2 with Milkshape, and I was able to make the bandana in The Sims 2, and here it is. It turned out perfectly, and I love it. So yeah, my character is going to be wearing that in all of his new videos. He's not going to be wearing it in The Rising Dead at all because because my character doesn't wear the bandana anymore in that series. But in all my other videos, he will be wearing the bandana, except in times where my character doesn't wear the bandana. Hope that made sense. So, the script is 37 pages long, but you have to remember, the font I used for it is really small. And it's also 55 scenes, and to be honest with you, this movie might be my longest movie yet. It might be longer than Knifed 7. I don't really know it for sure if it will be. I guess I won't know that until after I finish the movie, because there's no way to estimate how long a movie's gonna be just because of the length of the script. But from the length of this script, this movie's gonna be really long, and I'm excited about it. This movie is going to take place in Charlotte, North Carolina, and it's mostly going to take place in Charlotte, North Carolina, but it's also going to take place in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina for some of the scenes, but it's going to mostly take place in Charlotte, North Carolina. And also, the characters from the movie Monster-in-Law, because remember when I talked about that in my North Carolina, South Carolina episode of Joe Winko Talk? Jane Fonda and Jennifer Lopez, they're going to have a scene in the movie, too. I got to figure out how I'm going to make them in The Sims 2. I know I can find Jennifer Lopez. I should be able to find Jennifer Lopez available for download in The Sims 2. But I might have to make Jane Fonda all by myself, so I'm going to be figuring that out. And also, there's something I want to show you guys. So, I've been using a program called Google Earth. Not sure if you guys heard of it. It's like a free program you can get where you can see pictures of the world, and they really improved it. You can see 3D models of buildings too. And here's a picture of Charlotte, North Carolina in Google Earth. Let me show you what it looks like in Google Earth. Okay, here it is. Okay, so that's Charlotte, North Carolina. See the buildings and everything? I think it's really cool. But here's what I've been having trouble with, here's what I've been trying to figure out, because I can't figure it out at all. So, what you saw in that picture, all those buildings were 3D models, and what I was trying to do was, I want to take those models from Google Earth, extract the 3D models of all those buildings in Charlotte, North Carolina, from Google Earth, be able to import them into Milkshape, so I can import them into The Sims 2 and use them as neighborhood decoration objects. I don't really know how to do that, though. I mean, I know how to make neighborhood decoration objects in The Sims, but the thing is, I just need to extract those 3D models from Google Earth and import them into Milkshape. That's all I need to figure out, and then once I can get them into Milkshape, I can figure out how to work them from there. But I don't know how to do that, though. But I'm trying to figure it out. One of the guys from my live streams, Kevin, I think he might be able to help me with that. Because he does do some 3D modeling stuff. But I asked him, I'm not exactly sure if he said he'll try to figure it out. He'll try to help me figure it out, because I couldn't really figure it out myself that much. And now, for what inspired this movie. So, as I said earlier, this movie will be inspired by... Oh, I didn't say this earlier, actually. Let me say it again. Okay. Let me say it now. This movie is going to be inspired by the Maniacs. Maniacs. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right. It's some European city name. Bear with me, people. Silver Bullet and Lonelygirl15. So, this is what happens in the movie. So these two crazy guys, they watch my videos on YouTube, because in the movie, my character is 13 years old in the movie, even though I'm 20 in real life. I always make my characters in my Sims 2 horror movies, I always make him younger, because it makes the story more scarier for some reason. I mean, like, if you're an adult and a bunch of serial killers are after you, it's more scary if you're a young teenager and a bunch of serial killers are after you, because you're more frightened and more confused and everything. But what happens is, my character, he makes videos for YouTube, just like I do in real life, except he's using Grand Theft Auto to make videos, because in The Sims 2, Grand Theft Auto is supposed to be the fake cartoon computer world, just like Sims 2 is the fake cartoon computer world for us. But in the movie, Sims 2 is real. But then, these two guys see my videos on YouTube, and then they see how violent and gory the videos are, and it inspires them to become serial killers. So then, they go on a killing spree with hammers. They use hammers as a weapon. They go on a killing spree in Charlotte, North Carolina. Eventually, they find out that I live in Charlotte, North Carolina. So they decide to add me to their hit list, and then they make me a target and everything, and a whole bunch of crazy stuff happens. So, yeah, that's what Carolina Maniacs is going to be about. As I said earlier, it was inspired by the Maniacs. Again, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that word correctly, but bear with me, people. Now, let me tell you about the Maniacs. It was a crime spree that happened in 2007 in the European country of Ukraine and the city of Dnipropetrovsk. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Alright, so these two 19-year-old boys, they were inspired to become serial killers. I don't know why they did it, though. I don't know what inspired them to become serial killers. I feel bad using that word for something like that. But they became serial killers, and their names were... What were their names? Victor Sayenko and Igor Supranyuk. Irop Supranyuk. Oh, they have ways of how to pronounce it here. And Victor Seniko. There were two 19-year-old boys who, I don't know why, they thought it would be fun to go around and killing people for 2 weeks, and in 15 days, they murdered 21 people with hammers. They were going around the city, bashing people with hammers and whacking them to death and killing them, and they would record all the murders too and take pictures of it. And they also, before that, they started off with killing and torturing animals at first, but then eventually they moved on to killing people and torturing and killing people, and it was really messed up. As a matter of fact, one of their videos actually leaked out online because they would record the killings too. The video is called... Okay, I'm gonna regret telling you guys about this. The video is called 3 Guys, 1 Hammer. I don't really know for sure if you guys should watch it. It's the videos of these guys with the hammer. If you want to see how brutal and vicious these guys were, because this guy, what happens in the video is he knocks a man off. This man's riding his bike, One of the killers whacks him with the hammer. They drag him back to the backwoods, and then he beats him to death with the, like, he waits for him to wake up, then he beats him to death with the hammer, and it's, oh god, it was intense. I mean, it's one thing seeing someone die in a horror movie and knowing it's fiction, but when you're seeing it happen for real, it just freaks you out. The reason why I watched it is because my morbid curiosity got the best of me. Like, I didn't really want to watch it at first, but my morbid curiosity got the best of me. And also because, like, I was inspired to make my movie Carolina Maniacs, and this may seem really sick, but I wanted to watch the video because I wanted to know exactly what it's... Oh god, this is gonna make me... This is gonna make me sound like a psychopath, or this is gonna make me sound really sick, but I wanted to see exactly what happened and what the guy looked like when they beat him to death with the hammers, and exactly how it all went. And the only reason why is because in Carolina Maniacs, the killers use hammers to beat all their victims to death, and I want it to look as real and as intense as possible. So I watched that video for reference on how to do the blood on the face, and how the blood on the face should look, and how the features should be distorted when they're getting beat to death with hammers. I know, you guys probably all think, Joe, you are absolutely sick, but... And it is absolutely sick, but... It's the internet, so... I mean... I feel really... When I saw the video, I actually felt really bad for the man who got murdered. That was really tough. I don't know, because when I was watching the video... This may seem kind of... Okay, this is going to seem really morbid. I kept thinking about my uncle for some reason. My uncle didn't die like that. Thank God he didn't. My uncle died of brain cancer. He didn't die... He wasn't beaten to death by crazy guys with hammers, but... I was thinking, oh God, what if that... And you know, I really think that man was... The man who died in that video, 3 guys, 1 hammer... He actually was someone's father. Because I remember when I was reading about the Friendproject Maniacs, and there was a picture of a woman, she had tears on her face, and she was holding a picture of the man, and she was crying because she missed him. And it's really a horrible story. There was even another woman, the first girl they killed was a young woman in her late 20s or early 30s. Not exactly sure how old she was. They jumped out on her and they beat her to death with hammers. And her mother was the one who found her body, because they found her dead right outside the house. And it's really... And she said that when she saw her daughter's face, there was no face because they beat her to death with the hammers really bad. It's just really twisted how... people can be so evil and just get so much pleasure out of causing another person pain and suffering. Those killers, it makes me wonder, did they ever think of how much pain they were causing, not only to their victims, but to everyone else around them? Because... I don't know. God, I'm sorry, guys. Alright, so let's move on. How these 2 psychopaths were eventually caught was they were stealing after they'd kill their victims, they'd take the items from the victims and pawn them, like the victim's cell phone and everything. And what happened was they pawned one of the victim's cell phones. And that's how the police caught them, because they realized that the cell phone that was pawned belonged to one of the murder victims. And then they eventually tracked them down and busted them and sent them to prison. Good. They deserve it. I really hope they suffer every day in prison, because they cause so much pain and hurt to people, and for no reason. They were just going around killing random people. They would just go out, find the first person who they think they could take out, and then they run up and kill them. And it's just really messed up, because they were laughing about it and thinking it was all a joke and everything. I don't get people like that. It's absolutely evil. But Anyhow, I was watching a documentary about them too. I didn't list the documentary. You can probably find it yourself online if you type in the Nick Trump's Maniacs or the Hammer Maniacs. Type in the Hammer Maniacs instead. You'll still find it either way. And these guys' parents, they're both 19 years old and living with their parents. Their parents were absolutely stupid. They thought that their sons were innocent, even though multiple videos show them killing people and butchering them up. Only one of them leaked out, but apparently there were multiple videos showing them killing people and butchering up people. And one of their fathers said that both of the boys were photoshopped into the videos. How the hell do you photoshop someone into a video? And how the hell do you photoshop someone beating someone to death with a hammer? It was definitely them. Those videos were not modified or anything. You cannot do that at all. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Seriously. Those parents are retarded. Seriously. No offense to anyone, but they seriously are. Well, except to them, but no offense to anyone else. So then, now, the movie's also inspired by Silver Bullet, and what Silver Bullet was about, it was about an 11-year-old boy who was in a wheelchair and who was being stalked by a werewolf, and a werewolf was on the loose in town killing everyone. And the 11-year-old boy, his name was Marty in the movie, but he was played by the actor Corey Haim. Rest in peace, Corey Haim. Corey Haim played him, and no one believed him about the werewolf at all. Except for his older sister, Jane. She believed him about the werewolf. And the movie was also filmed in North Carolina, Silver Bullet, but not in Charlotte, North Carolina. It was actually filmed in a city called Wilmington, North Carolina. So, yeah, that's the only difference. And, that's basically the deal with Carolina Maniacs, because in the movie, I try to tell people that the killers are on the loose, and that they're after me, and that 2 Hammer Maniacs are killing everyone, but no one believes me at all. They think I'm making it up and everything. And that was the major, and besides the movie, besides what happens in my video, I was always able to relate to that in Silver Bullet, because Marty was in trouble, and the werewolf was after him, but no one believed him about the werewolf at all. Just like no one believes me about stuff a lot of times. Like in real life, no one believes me about a lot of stuff. Like if I'm in trouble with something and I'm trying to get help or something, no one will believe me about it. You'll be surprised how often that actually happens. It's kind of sad. But enough about my personal life. But in this movie, Carolina Maniacs, someone does believe me about the killers. Just like in Silver Bullet. And, let me show you a flashback scene from one of my old episodes of Joe Winko Talk about the North Carolina, South Carolina episode of Joe Winko Talk. Let me bring you guys back to that moment. But someone did believe him. His older sister, Jane, she believed him about the werewolf, and then they teamed up together, and they figured out a plan to stop the werewolf, and that was really touching because I was never close to any of my adoptive siblings at all, and I always wanted a sister like Jane, someone who would believe me if I told them that a werewolf was on the loose. If a werewolf really was on the loose, she would believe me, and someone who would help me figure out a plan to stop the werewolf, and for some reason, when I was really young, I was watching that. It made me sad, but I always wanted to go to the Carolinas because I always thought I had an older sister there who would be on my side and help me stop a werewolf if a werewolf came to attack. Older sister or older brother, really. But yeah, older sister at that time, but now I think more of like an older brother or something, who would be on my side and help me stop a werewolf if a werewolf was attacking. So that's another reason why I wanted to go to the Carolinas, so I could find that. So, in that episode of Joe Winko Talk, I said that I always wanted to go to North Carolina because I felt like my long-lost sister would be there. And in this movie, she does exist. Carolina Maniacs. I do have an older sister who does end up believing me about the killers on the loose in North Carolina, and she will be played by Bree, the character from the YouTube series Lonelygirl15. Bree will be the only person in the movie who believes me about the Carolina Maniacs, the guys with the hammers on the loose who are going around killing everyone and trying to kill me too. And about Lonelygirl15, it was a YouTube series, and it's ran from 2006 to 2008, but they're bringing it back again now. Just recently they're bringing it back. And I always loved watching Lonelygirl15 because I love watching the vintage, old-school YouTube videos that were recorded with the cheap 2000s webcams. Well, that's what they were trying to make it look like, but I'm pretty sure they were using nicer webcams. But like the vintage 4x3 YouTube videos that were 480, what was it? 480 px, the quality of it. I believe that's what it was. I never thought I'd ever say that about a YouTube video, a vintage YouTube video, but that's kind of what they are from the 2000s. Wow. But let me show you the first video of Lonelygirl15. It's not that long, and I have it right here, and I'm gonna watch it. Let me just load it up real quick. Just 1 second. Let me just find it. Alright. Here it is. Just waiting for it to load up. Sorry, my computer's kind of crappy. Okay, got it. Alright, I have it right here. Okay. 3, 2, 1, now.
Hi guys, so this is my first video blog. I've been watching for a while and I really like a lot of you guys on here. I really like pay to the order of two. You're really funny and your videos are always really interesting.
Isn't she adorable?
Then there's the wine cone or wine cone. I'm not sure. You are totally retarded, but I like it. Well, I guess a video blog is about me. My name is Bree. I'm 16. I don't really want to tell you where I live because you could, like, stalk me. Yeah. Well, what you need to know about my town is that it's really boring. Like, really boring. Really boring.
Just like my town.
That's probably why I spend so much time on my computer. I'm a dork. I didn't really have a plan for this video blog, but I guess I'll just do this. I remember when I lost my mind. There was something so pleasant about that. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Bye.
I sure did. Okay. Do you guys see why I like that show so much, Lonelygirl15? But you know, the interesting thing about it was, what was actually going on in Lonelygirl15? The video started out normal at first, but then eventually the story got more intense. What was going on was she was part of she was like really religious, and it turns out she's part of a religious cult, and okay, huge spoiler alert. I should have said that earlier. Okay, huge spoiler alert. Turns out that Bree, the girl in that video, was part of a religious cult, and she was chosen to do a ceremony because she was trait positive. And what it means to be trait positive is that she had like this special chemical in her blood, which makes her blood like the fountain of youth. And what the ceremony she was chosen for was, they were going to kidnap her, take her to this room, drain out all of her blood, and give it to the leaders of the cult so they can live forever. But they were going to drain out all of her blood and kill her, which I do not understand why. If someone had fountain of youth blood, wouldn't you just try to keep them alive for as long as you can and just drain out their blood little by little at a time, so you can keep them alive and get as much blood out of them as you can. Because that sounds really fucked up for some reason. Because if you drain out all their blood for one time, and if you kill them, that's not going to stupid phone. That's not you're not going to get any more blood out of them because they're dead. Gosh, messed up. But then, so what was going on what goes on in Lonelygirl15? Basically, she's on the run from these crazy guys who are trying to kidnap her and drain out her blood. And the weird thing was, everyone thought it was real at first, because they didn't think it was it's all actually fake and filmed in a studio, but they actually thought it was all real. She was really on the run from a religious cult that was going to kidnap her and drain out her blood. A lot of people thought it was real, but turns out it wasn't real. They eventually found out that it was fake, and it caused a lot of... not sure what it caused. Like, the actress who played Bree, her name is Jessica Lee Rose. I'm actually following her on Twitter. I remember I watched an interview with her. I watched her interview, and she said that she was really freaked out when they found out that it was fake and that it was exposed for being fake and everything, and she was worried that everyone would hate her for it. But yeah. And, okay, mega spoiler alert. The character Bree, the cult eventually kidnaps her and brainwashes her, and she decides to go through with the ceremony, and they drain out all of her blood and they kill her. But, turns out her character actually didn't die in the series at all. I thought her character was dead. She died at the end of season 1, but in the season finale of Lonelygirl15 at season 1. But it turns out that she really didn't die at all. Because the series continued after her death until they posted their last video in 2008. But then this video was uploaded just like a couple days ago. Let me show it to you right now, what happened to Lonelygirl15. She still looks nice after 10 years, just letting you all know. Let me just fast forward this. Okay. 3, 2, 1, now.
Being selected can be a very frightening thing, and it's okay to be afraid. When I was selected, I was terrified. I wasn't sure if I wanted to go through with the ceremony, and my friends thought something would happen to me. Nothing happened to me. Everything was fine. I went through with the ceremony, and it was an honor and a privilege. I'm living proof of that. And now that you've reached your 15th birthday,
alive!
You too will undergo selection. Being chosen by your loved ones and your elders is one of the most amazing experiences of your life.
Having your blood drained out?
There's nothing to fear. A part of you and your ancestors must heal this world, and the Order is here to help guide you.
By draining out my
story
blood?
is a simple one. Girl gets selected, girl gets scared, girl gets lost, and then returns home and does what she was always meant to do.
Yeah, give blood to the old people.
Your friends want what's best for you, but they won't understand if they're not a part of us. You must keep this information secret from them, or you can hurt your standing. The blood must heal. The blood must protect. The blood must flow.
Oh, well, that's
Now,
comforting.
Open to page 15 of your ceremony selection handbook.
Okay, sure. So that's that was her, Bree from Lonelygirl15. So they're bringing back Lonelygirl15 after 10 whole years. I'm really happy for it, even though I really just discovered Lonelygirl15 just a couple months ago. I still love Lonelygirl15. I binge watched all the episodes of season 1, and I watched some of the episodes of season 2, but Bree was already dead by then, so I didn't really want to watch any of the season 2 episodes that much, to be honest with you. Not without Bree. And also, in my North Carolina, South Carolina episode of Winko Talk, I said I was thinking, like I said in the video that I always wanted to have an older brother or an older sister. I thought I was going to find an older sister in North Carolina, but then I said, or an older brother in North Carolina. But I was actually thinking about this while I was writing the script. So I'm basically like the protagonist in this. Well, of course I'm the protagonist. I'm the protagonist in almost all of my videos. I'm the protagonist in Carolina Maniacs, and my side protagonist is Bree. Okay, that's a weird choice of words, but let's just use that. At first I was going to have it be, but you know what? Since I said an older sister or an older brother, at first I was going to have it be Daniel or Jonas. Those are two characters from Lonelygirl15, who are in Lonelygirl15. I was going to have them be my older brother and believe me about the killers on the loose and help me escape from the killers on the loose. But then I thought of this. Now, I thought, no, it has to be a female. It can't be a male. And I don't mean to be sexist, but I'm going to explain why. So imagine this, whether you're a girl or a boy, you have a younger brother, and there's two psycho guys with hammers who want to beat him to death and kill him. This is just what I thought. I know it's not true for every single girl, but I just thought that if it's a boy, if it's an older brother, and someone wants to beat and kill his younger brother to death with hammers, he's gonna be like, oh, you want to beat and kill my younger brother? Oh, come over here, I'll take both of you guys out. But if it was an older sister, and two crazy guys with hammers wanted to beat and kill her younger brother, she would be like, oh my gosh, we have to escape, come on, let's run! That's how it would be. I know that's really sexist for me to think like that, and I know not every girl is like that. I know some girls would probably be like, oh, you want to kill my younger brother? I'll take you guys out! But, that's just what I felt. Like, if it was an older sister, she'd be trying to help her brother escape, not fight off the killers. And, but don't worry, Bree does have a really tough moment in Carolina Maniacs. You guys will see it, though. So, yeah. Hope you guys aren't mad at me for thinking like that. Blame my autism mind. So, also, that video was really weird. I mean, I'm happy that Bree is alive, but the part when she said the blood must flow, that kind of gave me an uneasy feeling. I was like, oh, gee, the blood must flow? That doesn't sound good. But the blood definitely will flow in Carolina Maniacs, because it has a lot of gore and a lot of violence in it, too. A lot of gore and a lot of violence. So, getting back to what I said earlier, if you think you can help me find, if anyone watching this video, if you think you can help me figure out how to extract the Google Earth 3D models from Google Earth so I can put them in milk shape and use them in milk shape and convert them to neighborhood decorations for The Sims 2, please let me know. That'd be very helpful. Or if you know anyone else who might be able to help me with that. And also, the main reason why I haven't done an episode of Joe Winko Talk for a while, I've been unmotivated too because I haven't gotten a single donation on my GoFundMe account. And I'm a little upset about that. So, yeah, I'm still trying to do that too. So, the reason why I'm holding the GoFundMe is because I'm saving up for a gaming laptop so I can make my videos faster for YouTube. I actually do have a cheap laptop that I got off of Craigslist like a long while back, but it's really slow with rendering stuff. And I was trying to figure out if I could just upgrade my cheap laptop I got off of Craigslist, but it doesn't really seem like I can, so I'm going to have to get a new laptop. Because I don't like sitting up in my room, being on my computer all day. Not in this room, especially if the broken air conditioning. I have a fan on right now, not sure if you guys can hear it. It's down there. So, yeah. But, yeah. I also signed up for another website called Patreon, one of my friends who I do the live streams with, they recommended it to me. I haven't earned any money on that yet. I haven't gotten any money or donations on that yet, but I'm working on it. Hopefully I'm able to. Hopefully you guys start donating to my GoFundMe too, because that would definitely be helpful also, or donating to my Patreon account. I should probably put a link to that in my YouTube videos now that I think of it. Yeah, I probably should. So yeah, gonna make sure to do that later on. So yeah, that's basically it for this episode of Joe Winko Talk. Be on the lookout for Carolina Maniacs, but as I said in my last channel update, please do not constantly ask me, oh, when is Carolina Maniacs coming out? When is the Carolina Maniacs coming out? When is Carolina Maniacs coming out? Please do not ask me that, because that gets really annoying. I understand that you're all excited for it, but seriously, it's just me working on Carolina Maniacs. Just one guy making a 55-scened movie, recording all the voices, building all the sets, or downloading them from Mod The Sims, but yeah. And making all the characters. So it's going to take a long time. And all the custom animations, too. Don't even get me started on that. So yeah, that's basically it for this episode of Joe Winko Talk. Don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much to 6,000 subscribers. Hope to see another 6,000 roll around too. And don't forget to donate to my GoFundMe. Don't forget to like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr. So that's it. Peace out, people.